Yo, what's up, YouTube? Alright, y'all. So today we got the return of Ben 10 could change everything by Damn Boy Wonder. I've been checking out his videos for a good minute. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see what you got going on. So yeah, but before I hit this play button, I need y'all to do a couple things. I need y'all to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because a good amount of you guys are not subscribed, and I've been checking the analytics and it's telling me that half of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. So please do me a big favor and subscribe to my channel. It greatly help me out, greatly help the channel grow, and give me more incentive to bring you and push out more videos like this. If you guys want more videos like this, definitely leave a like down below. But I'm doing enough of yapping to me, and we just gonna get straight into it. Let's go.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
My dear Ben 10 heads, the great drought has officially reached its end. After a year of silence and delays, Dynamite's Ben 10 comic that was announced back at Comic-Con 2024 dropped its first look last week, along with even giving us a release date. I know I'm late to this news. Unfortunately, I have a life and I can't pump out a video within under 24 hours responding to the news immediately. But nonetheless, seeing the news has gotten fans, both diehard and casuals, excited, myself especially included. While others are more or less conflicted about everything and aren't pleased mainly with the new art style. You know, it's funny, nothing is certain in life besides death, taxes, and Ben 10 fans hitting on a new art style. Now, I was just going to sit back and just drop a short rating, all the designs, yada yada, and call it a day for talking about the whole comic until it officially dropped. But then I sat down and thought more about it and realized that I actually have a lot to say, unfortunately for you all, which means this is going to be a yap session, because the outcome of this comic actually may hold some pretty big implications for the franchise. But first, allow me to yap and nerd out over all the details and images we got released, as my excitement has been over the moon for this thing. This is why it is so important to have like love in your life. If you don't love something, please start loving it, because look, it gives you a reason to live. I have a reason to live now. It was a known piece of information that this Ben 10 comic is taking inspiration from Marvel's Ultimate Comic line, but most notably and most thankfully DC's Absolute line, because DC's Absolute line, unlike Marvel's, isn't a fucking nothing burger. Seriously, like Marvel just ended its Ultimate Spider-Man run. Nobody can tell you a single thing that happened in that run, because like nothing ever happened in that run. You can especially tell it's taking after DC's Absolute line once you look at the variant covers and even some of the preview pages.
Okay, sorry to pause so early, y'all, but one thing I will say, to me, the art style is very different, and far as the design for Ben and Gwen goes, I'm not really a fan of it. It doesn't, I don't know, like, I mean, to me, Ben and Gwen in this art style, or at least the way they're drawn right here, and especially in this little frame right here, or this page, or whatever you want to call it, they don't look the best to me. To me, they don't. But to me, Grandpa Max looks great. He's not wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He's just wearing like a standard red shirt with the brown vest. If you guys don't know about the particular look for Grandpa Max, this particular look, it looks like they're literally taking Grandpa Max look, his outfit from a little bit from the reboot Ben, that watered down kid version of Ben 10 that they had in like 2020, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it looked like they're taking outfit from that. Now the glasses are definitely new, but to me, the art style for Ben and Gwen don't really mesh. I don't like it. At least I don't like it. Cause like, why does Gwen have on a vest? Where's her cat logo? Ben has the same shirt, but if you can see, the line in the shirt definitely does not connect at the end of his like neckline and go straight down. It's the line is kind of like off to the right. I don't like that. And another thing I don't like that Ben has cargo shorts on now. I like the pants better, but maybe the art style changed later on. Maybe it'll grow on me, but let's keep watching. I've done enough yapping.
Along with the sketches released by the book's main artist, Robert Carey, you can definitely see that absolute DC inspiration in everything this book is doing. And what is most likely the final designs for the comic roster of 10 we have, we can see in detail that these designs are like actually raw as hell. Even the ones that I don't particularly like, a lot of the discussion online.
Now, I will say this. To me, I don't necessarily 100% mind the look of Accelerate, especially what he just mentioned, but I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's my best. I wouldn't say it's to me, I would not say it's something that I would necessarily pick for Accelerate. But I will say that some of these alien designs for this version of Ben are definitely creepy and unique, and they're definitely nightmare fuel. So some of them are.
Has been about how ugly and gross these new designs are.
But it makes sense though, because they're taking inspiration from the Absolute Universe, and this is trying to be a more darker, gritty type of Ben 10. Even that he like to me, it's almost like they're trying to make it a little bit more realistic. Like the fact that they're almost making it like what Ben would really, how the aliens and Ben and everything would really look if this was real, and how monstrous they would look to some people. And now, like this design, this is obviously Cannonball. You can see the balls and the spears on his eyes and stuff like that. Now, this right here, this design is definitely Nightmare Fuel. This is taking a more darker, serious tone. So everything ain't gonna be all kid friendly and all gloomy and rainbows and stuff like that. So
especially Cannonball's case, he looks like he personally witnessed the execution of his own race. There's just not a single thought behind those very, very disturbing eyes. He just looks fucking ugly. All right, kill it. I'm sorry, kill him. I know for a lot,
which makes sense because again, the art style is not necessarily kid friendly, you know.
A lot of people, I've seen that this direction for the aliens came,
but I'm gonna let him talk,
disappointing, as they no longer give off those heroic superhero vibes that we became accustomed to, mainly during Alien Force through Omniverse. But for me, I couldn't be happier. I feel like this comic is made for me. Part of why Classic is my holy grail, my messiah, my Michael Jackson, was because its style was the closest to having a creepy / horror aesthetic, which I think complements the Ben 10 franchise so well.
Sorry, I gotta pause again, y'all, but yes, it's kind of supposed to fit. Ben 10 is supposed to, when you really sit back and think about the core of Ben 10 and the aliens and the fact that there's aliens in general, it's supposed to really be creepy because aliens aren't really supposed to be looking all friendly and heroic. They're supposed to be a little creepy. If you really sit back and think about what Ben would be like in real life, if there was a real kid out there that really found an alien watch that turned him into a different race of aliens, more than likely a lot of these aliens would be actually creepy and something that you've never seen before, and most of us would be terrified and probably running for our lives if we seen it, even if said alien was supposed to be helping out.
And it's why I'm still mourning over Eric Canetti's concepts for Alien Force. Why did you guys get rid of that? It's like they seen his work. It was like, you know what? Let's not do that and make it.
This may be the last ad you ever see. Because with the free ad block extension from
I don't really care. I hope I don't see you again.
Worse. I still love UAF though. Don't misconstrue.
Oh yeah, of
just
course.
Looking at a lot of the alien designs, for example, Diamond Head, who has these messy rock patterns or upgrade jagged wire patterns with claws, or Stingfly just being an upright large bug, or Wildmine looking like a roided up Venus flytrap that looks like it would bite your head clean off. It's the stuff I love because it seems like Man of Action is finally getting to explore that grotesque side of Ben 10 even deeper than they could in the OG series, and couldn't touch it all in the 2016 reboot. Even in designs I don't personally like, such as Accelerate, like I feel like they massacred my boy, but I'm gonna keep that one on the low. To be honest, I just think he looks kind of unnatural. Like he looks like a xenomorph and a transformer had a baby. I appreciate the design nonetheless because see, you can dislike something and give it props. I appreciate it though mostly because it's staying on that theme that they're going for. Having Accelerate be more hunched over, giving him an animalistic vibe is an idea I feel is very welcomed for Ben 10. It's something the franchise honestly needed because we were starting to get way too many humanoid aliens towards the end of Omniverse and in the reboot. They literally took away all of Stinkfly's sauce. Yeah,
bro, like what is that?
little sauce he had. Just to touch on the rest of the aliens too, I love Forearms' look. It may be my favorite look at the moment, right next to Heat Blast. Forearms does come with some accessories that kind of make him look like a Marvel Rivals character, like these leg pouches and boot armor. But for the most part, it looks cool to me, so I don't really mind it. Heat Blast, like I said, is probably my second favorite or even my favorite design because all around it's such a banger. Especially looking at the sketch that Robert Carey released. Like, this is such a powerful design. Honestly though, it does kind of remind me a little bit of the Human Torch. I don't know if you want to take that like bad or good. I'll let you decide. And even though we do have,
I don't think it is bad. I just wish that they had gave him something for. Now I don't mind me personally. I don't mind the design for Heat Blast, but I wish they had gave him like something to like cover his lower region. Because with it just being like almost like magma down there, and I mean, it almost looks like he's naked, and I don't really rock with that, but I don't know how you guys may feel.
Have a great look at Overflow. From what I can see on these covers, I am like extremely happy with his new redesign. He's like an absolute version of Thomas the Tank Engine. He's a fucking unit on these covers. And while on the topic of Overflow, let's talk about the roster, shall we? Because I know a lot of people are upset. Now I had
why are people upset? What's wrong with the roster?
Two expectations really when it came to what the comic would do with his playlist. One of my expectations was that it would just be the original 10 with new designs, or it would be an entirely new playlist with new aliens. Never did it cross my mind that we'd be getting the reboot playlist again. If anything, I thought reboot aliens would show up, but not until like later in the run. I thought they would kind of like just ignore them until like issue 10. 15. But honestly, when you
really think about it, we didn't really get a whole lot of new aliens in the reboot series. We did, like I said, we did get Overflow, and I know we did get Ben's version of Vilgax. If you had got Vilgax in the Omnitrix, we got Gax, but that's about it.
Think about it, this makes the most sense as this lineup of 10 gives us all those iconic aliens from the OG show off rip. Like at this point, can you imagine any Ben 10 content not having Cannonbolt in the main 10? No, you can't imagine it. But I know what you can imagine: Ben 10 content without Ripjaws and Wild Mutt. It also just I
kind of like Wild Mutt a little bit. Well, no, I take that back. I like Ripjaws a little bit better than Wild Mutt. But I like them both.
Honestly, makes sense when you remember that Man of Action had their deepest development with the franchise during the reboot era. So yeah, it makes sense for them to bring back their playlist from the show that they last worked on and to expand upon it. So I'm not upset that Overflow is here or that Ripjaws and Wild Mutt and Ghost Freak are seemingly gone, because one of my biggest wants from this comic was to give more love to those lesser used aliens. Plus, Duncan Rouleau did basically say that Wild Mutt, Ripjaws, and Ghost Freak will maybe be in the playlist. He just
it says I can't speak. I'm terribly sorry for asking, but I'm so excited. I genuinely need to know. I hope it's not a spoiler. If you could tell, is Ben going to unlock other original aliens because it seems Ben doesn't have Ghost Freak, Wild Mutt, and Ripjaw similarly to the 2016 version. And then down here, Duck and Ruffalo says they are all in there, just not enough cover to draw everyone. Okay. Cool.
Said that they just couldn't fit on the cover, so we'll be getting more aliens and they'll probably pop up. I just hope that as Ben begins to unlock aliens throughout the story, we see new ones, of course, but I also hope that there is some priority given to those aliens who went underutilized in the franchise. Seriously, if they want to hand Ben a new strange alien definitely. Like 5 issues in, I'm cool with it. I swear. Just let it be like Armadillo or some new guy. Please, for the love of everything, I am begging you, the one thing you do, Dynamite, the one thing y'all don't do, Man of Action, is put Humongosaur in this damn book. Humongosaur has eaten up enough.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that too, bro. I kind of got, Alien Force, Loki ran Alien Force and Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, and even a little bit of Omniverse. Those are the 3 series that ran Humongosaur down in the ground. Like, Humongosaur was one of my favorite aliens, but after seeing him so much, like, he's one of my least favorite now. It's like, I'm tired of seeing, bro. And then they brought him back in the reboot. Like, what are you doing? Like, bro, what are you doing? I'm tired of seeing this brown dinosaur on my screen. And then I guess they thought it'd be cool to add him in the reboot series with spikes on his back and then spikes on his tail with a little mace on him. I mean, it was cool, but I'm tired of seeing, bro.
Ben 10 screen time. Do away with him. Take him out back and yell at him.
Please, Daddy.
Yeah.
I told you, when I'm finished, you can have what's left.
There won't be any left. There's never any left.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Damn.
I just truly hope
That's
that with
crazy.
this new take, they go full in on providing a new experience, especially since the Absolute Universe is such a heavy inspiration here. And that's kind of what the main agenda of that universe is, providing a new experience.
Get 50%
Sorry
off
for the ad,
any
y'all.
beverages at the Capital One Cafe with your Capital One card.
In life, growth
God
doesn't
dang, I got hit with another ad.
you secure.
But I'm keeping it in, I don't care.
And I really want that to show for Ben 10, not only in the looks, but also in its function. Back to the Absolute Universe, Batman in that series operates unlike any other Batman we've seen. I mean, he's wielding a fucking giant battle axe and cutting niggas' hands off. Like, what Batman do you know have done it before? They've also switched up some of his origin story, like having his mom and only his dad dying, and him being childhood friends with his Rose Gallery before they became villains. For Ben 10, if these aliens are going to look as monstrous as they are, then maybe let Ben behave more monstrous, you know? Let him be a bit more feral rather than a quippy kid superhero if you want to really go for that dynamic change, if you want to really spice things up from the previous iterations. Let the aliens do things we've never seen before. Don't be afraid to let his aliens maybe scare a few people or something along those lines, because you know, I don't want him like biting heads off for real. I know this comic is still intended for like young adults, and I don't know how much you can get away with a teen rating for a comic book. I don't really know all the ratings with all that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't read a lot. Now, alongside all the variant covers and sketches, we also got some looks at the interior pages and a glimpse at the story and the direction it's going to take. They just give us a look at what the first issue will touch on, which is of course the origin story that we've seen numerous times already, and also gave us a look at what the Tennysons themselves will look like. First up, the character design, because they have also stirred up some discussion. I think they're cool. Ben Stripe is like purposely off-centered instead of being right down.
And I don't know why, but that bothers me that it's off-centered and not like perfectly aligned down the middle like it usually is. To me, it bothers me. I don't know why, but it just
the
does.
middle, which to be honest, I low-key fuck with. Meanwhile, Gwen and Max are like main characters in a zombie survival story. On a real note, I really dig Max's look, especially with the beard. I don't know what it is, but it's just doing something for me. My guy is in his doof era, you know. That boy's stunning. And Gwen's design is like, it's fine, it's whatever. She has a big ass forehead, which is funny to make fun of.
Which I don't really like. I don't know why, but I don't really like the fact that Gwen has a really big forehead.
10 head, 5 head, little ass kid. I don't mind the art style of the comic like others do. It's not super flash or anything, and to be honest, it's kind of like generic. It looks like the type of art style you'd see in your school library graphic novel section. Unlike other people on the internet, I don't think it's fucking ugly at all. I know Robert Carey has some beautiful work up there, and I'm sure once the comic really gets into the swing of things, we'll start to see that really beautiful artwork. And a lot of you people out there calling for this man's job already over 4 pages, I think.
Wait, is people doing that? Y'all gotta stop, bro. What is wrong with people, bro? Y'all gotta stop doing stuff like that, bro. Just because a person doesn't give you something that you want or that you don't like does not mean that you have to come for this man's job or that man's life or whatever you're doing, whatever you guys are doing. Man, if you out there, man, if you see this video and you watching this video and you out there doing that, man, stop it, bro. Just stop, bro. What's wrong with y'all, bro? Y'all just stupid. If you're doing that, you're just stupid and you just need to stop.
It's crazy. All right, let's slow our roll. But
yeah,
overall,
like come on now.
These preview pages look good on their own. But the most interesting thing that these pages reveal, along with the quote, is that the government will apparently play a stronger presence here in the story, which, depending on what that means exactly, may raise or temper my excitement. Because if that means that Steel and Sector are gonna be heavily involved, put me down on the waiting list. I'm pre-ordering every single copy, every cover, every issue. I will be there 100%. Maybe even send me a copy too. I don't know. Y'all know where to find me. My email down below. See, I say all that because Steel is one of my favorite characters in the classic series.
I did kind of like him.
Done a huge disservice going forward in the rest of the franchise. I mean, after Classic, his character is completely absent, only showing up once in Omniverse, where he literally did nothing. I mean, he's not even Steel. You can just replace him with any government person, which sucks because he was like one of the first non-villains to
he showed up in Omniverse. I didn't even know that he showed up in Omniverse.
Deuce Ben's identity, and it made him an interesting supporting character because of that. His character inclusion also gave us a glimpse at what outsiders think about Ben's heroics, adding a unique dynamic to the show because that's something Ben 10 doesn't really play around with. Outside of characters like referencing Ben 10's heroics as his certain heroes or the whole news presence when he becomes famous, but even in after that, it's not really the same. You don't really get to see a lot of what people think about alien heroes in the world and what Ben is doing. If done right, we can get more of that, but if not, then it'll it'll probably just be some standing government bullshit, wanting to seize the Omnitrix for power, yada yada, the whole government stuff, the whole generic spiel. I think it would be cool though, instead of like Vilgax robots coming to retrieve the Omnitrix in this first issue, it's like government agents or like robots coming after it. Since the first issue is looking like it'll follow a similar structure to And Then There Were 10, I think it'd be cool if they, you know, made that present from the jump, made that switch up already, you know, get people excited, get people wondering, because I don't want to root for no government. I don't even root for my own government, you know. Ben, take them all out. I also think it's cool that the government is taking notice of the Omnitrix entering Earth's atmosphere, because it kind of gives me like heavy Stranger Things vibes, for lack of a better term. And this once again calls back to the old Hero Generation concept for Alien Force, where they wanted a more mysterious atmosphere for Ben 10. I have a whole video talking about like Hero Generation and all that type of stuff, what they originally wanted to do, so you can check that video out down below. Crow the artist was on there for all my real big Ben 10 heads. I just think it'd be really cool if instead of leaning back into those superhero roots, they sort of replaced them for a more mysterious Stephen King-esque vibe for the comic. Because I mean, just looking at all the artwork and the sort of dark undertone it kind of gives me with the gruesome and nasty looking aliens again, I feel like that's really what this comic wants to go for, and I think they should go for it hard, because it would just set apart this comic so much. But that's basically all.
Now, what I will say, to me, Gray Matter looks really creepy, because it literally looks like his brain is almost just bulging out the back of his head.
All the news that we have at the time of me making this video, so happy to have Ben 10 content on the way. The fact that it's a comic too is what also just makes me super excited. A true ongoing Ben 10 comic has always felt like the right way to continue the franchise if it wasn't a show or a movie, especially when you remember that Man of Action has.
Now, me personally, I would have definitely rather it been a show, but just like a more darker, gritty, a little bit creepy show, kind of like what they're doing here. But you put it on a different net, or you obviously don't put it on Cartoon Network, or you don't put it on things like that. Like, put it on like freaking like HBO Max, put it on Hulu, put it on Tubi or something like that.
So many ties with the comic book industry. Just
the Ninja coffee maker. Come to mama, my little
Sorry for all the ads, y'all.
The Epic Beauty Sale is here. I'm at CVS, so let's restock some of my favorites. 6 essentials from CVS. This is one of my favorite time of the
just as much as they do animation, it really feels like this can be special. I mean, comic book influence is all over the Ben 10 franchise, with references to comic book artists and writers and comic book writers having worked on the show, like the GOAT Dwayne McDuffie, and a lot of elements in the show being directly inspired or taken from comics. Comics are also such an underrated form of media right now. Like, I've been reading so many comics as of late, like more than I've ever read before in my life, and there are tons of rich stories in those books for your favorite characters if you haven't picked up a comic book. Like, there are so many good stories out there for you. You're missing out.
I would definitely try to pick this comic book up when it comes out.
Just read. I was like you once. I made it out. If you want to start anywhere, honestly, do the Absolute Universe. Batman is sick as fuck right now. Literally, thankfully for the...
I do definitely want to try to cop the issue of Absolute Batman and stuff too as well, and I will try to.
The Absolute Universe blowing up, it has people glued to comic books for like the first time ever. So with Ben 10 sort of being grouped in with the Absolute topic, it should lead to more casual people also reading it. With Man of Action also no longer having to please CEOs and whatnot anymore, they are able to also tell stories that they want and do whatever they want, meaning we may get some seriously good ass stories that we would never be able to get on television with this property, possibly making this comic a must read for anyone who ever loved Ben 10 at any point of their life. At the end of the day, supporting this comic will be important, because even if it doesn't lead into new animated content like some people want, it could most certainly lead to Ben 10 having a strong presence in the comic landscape. It would be so fun to see Ben 10 go on one of those long comic runs similar to like Invincible or the heavily mentioned Absolute Batman. I know I'm mentioning the...
Or even have something like freaking Amazon Prime pick up a Ben 10 show just like it did with Invincible and make it more gruesome and creepy.
Absolute Universe a lot now, because you know it's the direct inspiration, and also because I might make a video on this soon. See, I'm gauging how interested y'all are in that. But the Absolute Universe started off with only like 3 titles, and now it's become its own large expanded universe with one-shot comics like Absolute Evil and more characters like every day getting their own title. Like around the time me recording this of the Ben 10 news dropping, they announced an Absolute Green Arrow where he's like a fucking serial killer and his bow is made out of like machetes. That's like the coolest shit ever.
That shit,
Ben 10 has
bro, that is fire. I really need to read that, and I would, if you guys want me to react to this stuff, I would definitely will leave it down in the comment section below. Or even if you don't do that, definitely like this and I would definitely react to a bunch of stuff like this.
Close to success is that I feel like we can see some spin-off books also. Maybe one for Kevin Levin, which would be an instant cop, or maybe a spin-off about a plumber team, you know, on some comedy shit. Or they'll see that Benton is doing well in comic form and possibly revisit the Prime timeline in some way on the pages. This is all just speculation, of course. I don't have any insider knowledge. It's all just hope. It's all just hopium. And it's just good to wake up to Ben 10 news and just know that it's coming back soon, actually. And that the creators also want to bring us more content. I mean, I see Duncan Rollo all over my timeline talking about how much he wants to bring Ben 10 back and how they're trying to get an animated movie made. And I just pray that that gets somewhere.
I hope we get that.
Because if Warner Brothers didn't want to make a Batman Beyond animated movie, then I highly doubt they'll greenlight a Ben 10 one. But that'll do it all.
Which is still very crazy to me. Why would you not want to make an animated Batman Beyond movie? That movie would have sold and gave y'all millions, but y'all decided not to make that. That is very stupid. To me, that is very stupid on their part, but hey, whatever. It is what it is, y'all.
For this video, let me know in the comments what you're most looking forward to in the Ben 10 comic, and also, of course, consider leaving a like.
All right, y'all. Dope video by that boy Dan Boy Wonder. Me personally, I am definitely excited, and I will definitely try to cop this comic as soon as I can, even the Batman comics. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you haven't already, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.